Hey guys, Coach Chad here. Today we're going to be talking about a version of the 90-90 stretch, okay? So I'm going to get into position and we're going to demonstrate some of the variations on how we can do this. So the 90-90, when we're first setting it up, we're going to want to think about that femur being straight forward in front of us. This is the easiest starting position. You create a 90-degree angle on this leg right here. This leg's going to be out on a 90-degree this way and the foot behind in a 90-degree position. Now, when a lot of people get into this position, they will be able to sit flat on the floor. You can see I cannot. So my internal rotation on this back trailing leg's hip is incredibly poor. So in that case, I have to do a lot more work here, okay? So that's why I'm sitting at a slight angle, but that's what also makes this a very good stretch or mobilization technique. Now we're going to be also utilizing some variations of cars, if you will, which I'll go into another video possibly, but we're going to be using some different variations while we're in here. So the very first part of this stretch is, of course, just to sit in this stretch and allow this back hand here, or my side hand, to push myself up into as vertical position as possible. And for me, I'm feeling this very much in my hip capsule here on my trailing leg. Now, once I get into this position, we're going to start to move this back trailing leg around in some different variations. So the first one is going to be to actually externally rotate that hip and move it across. So what you're going to do is you're going to push into the front knee here while lifting off that back toe, all right? And again, I'm going to probably be shifting. You're going to try to shift and move minimally within the stretch based on your mobility, okay? So I'm going to plant myself down. I'm going to rotate and open that back leg. And I'm gonna do this for a set of 5, but you can choose anywhere between 3 to 10 repetitions of these motions. And again, one of the most important things about these motions is that we move with intent, nice and slow and controlled. This is not a fast, bouncy, or pulsing style movement. It's something that we wanna have a lot of control in, given the position is a very, what's the best word for this? A precarious position for me to be in. It's a little bit tight for me on my hip here, okay? Now the next portion is going to be to actually lift our back leg up. Now the interesting part is, and many of you guys might find this, that you cannot. But even the act of trying to do so is worth our time. So we're going to try and do 5 of the lifts. Now I'm going to lean forward here just so you can see what I mean. This is what we're going to try, okay? Now that again displays the incredible lack of internal rotation I have on my hips. Some of you guys are going to be able to lift your legs all the way up, but at the same time, I don't want you just to do this, okay? That's a bit different. I want you to try and remain tall as best you can, and even if it's just the act of pushing this knee into the floor and trying to lift that heel, that's a good start, okay? And we would do that for 5 repetitions, right? Then from there, again, I'm going to try and stay as tall as possible. I'm going to lift my back leg up, slowly rotate it all the way around in front of me, place it on the leg in front. Okay, and again, I want to minimally fall to side. And I'm going to pull my leg back, pulling it up as much as I can. I'm trying to actively, with the musculature on my external rotation on my hip, pull that leg up off the floor. And again, we're going to do this for 5 repetitions. And we don't want this to be a swinging, fast movement. It's a slow, controlled movement, and you want to move as slow as possible, which I find very, very challenging. And again, we would do this for 5 repetitions, okay? And if there's any point within this video that you think, my gosh, that looks easy, you are wrong. This is hard. This is making me sweat. Good. So those are your 3 variations of the 90-90 position.